Hey guys, this is Michael Ross, the Prada Ross Real Estate Team. I'm sitting here with Nick Brown. He is the chairperson of the Willoughby-Eastlake Levy Committee. And the reason we're sitting here today is because coming to a ballot box near you on May 3rd is the renewal for the Willoughby-Eastlake Levy. And it's a pretty important one. Like, I know recently we had just passed the big operating levy, right? So anytime a levy shows up on a ballot box, people have questions of why is this up again, all that good stuff. So with this specific levy, Nick, give us a little background on this one.
So Mike, I'm glad you mentioned the fact this is a renewal levy. And what that should mean to the viewers is that this is not a new tax. This is a tax that's already being paid within the school district right
already
now.
Built into the tax bill that they've been paying
already.
For the last couple of years.
Nothing will change for these folks if they were to approve this levy.
Nice.
With that, this levy has actually been in place since 1994 as well.
Oh.
So we're looking at close to 30 years of this tax being in place in this community at this point.
Cool.
And so what we've got on the ballot right now is a 2.4 millage rate that's going to be put against the property tax.
And so you guys understand what the millage rate is, because I know it's kind of silly. I don't know why we just don't use dollars and cents, but they use the word millage. And so what that simply means is per $100 of valuation, it's 24.4 cents. So if you you look at that, in the average sale price in 2021 in the Willoughby-Eastlake School District was $196,305. It's going to cost the average, or what it is costing the average taxpayer now, is $479 a year, or $40 a month if you do the quick math. But yeah, sorry, I didn't want to derail you there.
Sure, no, I appreciate that explanation. I think context is important for this. And so with that number, $400 and some odd dollars right there that a taxpayer is going to be paying, that's going to allow our schools to be able to bring in revenue of $4.475 million. So close to $4.5 million that's going to be coming from this levy.
Okay, so that's all well and good. That's the money the district's had and been using for a while. What does that money specifically pay for?
So, and this is a great point. So exactly where this money is going to be going is 80% of it is directly to staff. And so when I say staff, I'm talking teachers, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, teachers' aide. These folks are neighbors in this community. I know I have a few in my neighborhood right now that would be directly impacted by this. And so what's important to really realize with this is that staff directly impacts our kids too. And so 80% of these dollars are going specifically to staff that are going to be addressing our kids.
So in the event that the levy doesn't pass on May 3rd, how would they make up that money? I mean, I don't know, you're not with the school board or anything like that, but in your opinion, I mean, what could happen?
So, with this primary coming up on May 3rd, you got to put it in context of a school calendar year. So right now, as we've discussed, this is a renewal levy. Mm-hmm. So this is money that is already being realized by the school district. If that money is no longer there, that $4.5 million, that's going to impact the school's budget. And so 80% of that money going to staff is likely to impact staff decisions. May 3rd, end of the school year, that's going to be a full summer before the next school year. And the school's going to have to really look at what are we going to do to fill this gap, $4.5 million. They're going to be tough decisions to make, and 80% of that was allocated to staff.
That's a big number too.
It's a huge number. Huge number.
So, with that, obviously we know that there's 2 election cycles in a calendar year, right? Mm-hmm. You have the primary and then the general. Mm-hmm. And so it's my understanding that there would still be an opportunity to maybe pass this in November, but again, they have to budget for the next school year prior to November. So some things may have to change at that point or before November. But if it doesn't pass this time, doesn't pass in November,
sure, what
happens after that?
So one of the big things with this being renewal as well that should be considered is that there's actually a 12.5% discount from the state based upon the homestead tax and some other nebulous things. But what it is 12.5% of what we're asking for, the $4.5 million, isn't going to be paid by the taxpayer itself. So that 2.4 millage rate we had talked about is less than it would be otherwise, because the state's going to give us some money, 12.5% of what we're asking for. If we don't pass this in May, as well as in November, that goes away. So with this budget fallout, this $4.5 million we're talking about, At some point, we're going to have to seek it down the road. If not in May, then in November. If not in November, somewhere down the road. After November, 12.5% discount is no longer there. It's no longer available.
So effectively, then the millage would have to increase.
Absolutely.
You're talking about adding $400,000 to $500,000 additional dollars on there that need to be made up somewhere else.
Absolutely.
So obviously that would make taxes go up versus going down. So with all that being said, me being in real estate, we look at strong schools, strong neighborhoods, strong pricing, all that good stuff. Like, not speaking to any district specifically, but, we can look at hard 10-year average prices in specific school districts compared to where they're ranked in, whatever lists you look at. Sure. And real estate prices almost every single time are a direct reflection of a school district, right? If it's a poor performing school district, it's poor performing pricing. If it's a top performing school district, we're seeing top performance pricing. And so, when you break it down, the $479 a year that you would, quote, save if you fail this, not you, but if the levy is failed, could cost you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 3-4 years down the road when our school district possibly could be dismantled because there's just not a lot of programming, all that stuff. Young families or anybody maybe doesn't want to move in and stuff. Those obviously extreme examples, but research shows that good school districts, good pricing. So why gamble $40 a month that could cost you $25 down the road?
Absolutely. You're looking at a long-term investment here with what you're talking about. And I can speak from a personal standpoint. I've got 3 kids. My wife and I moved to this district about 2.5 years ago. This school system is what attracted us here. That was a huge part of it. And we paid whatever the market dictated, but it was because of this school district.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in this district too. I've been here for 10 years. We have 2 kids, family, all that stuff. We're staying here because we enjoy the town, the school district, everything that it offers, right? And, we would hate to see anything happen like that. But, even folks that don't have kids in the school district, if this levy fails, it's going to probably affect them one way or another. Even though you don't have kids in the district, it's going to affect your pocketbook when you go sell the house.
It's a huge part of the community. Schools are the fabric of the community. Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, hey, don't want to be doom and gloom or anything, but, I think, with the appropriate facts put forward, we're here. If you guys want to shoot us direct message questions, we'll be happy to answer any of them for you. But, we just wanted to make sure that you guys had the factual information leading up to May 3rd here. And we hope to all see you guys at the ballot box. So, hey, Nick, we appreciate your time today.
Thanks a lot,
Good
Mike.
to see you, sir.
No new tax either. Renewal levy.
You heard it from Nick, guys. All right, man. We'll see you guys soon. Bye now.
Thanks.